Welcome, this is Kelvin Dale, sharing how the Irish had an impact on helping shape the United States. In Part 1, on the subject of music, we look at the musical instruments the Irish brought with them to America and how the sounds they created built the foundations for American bluegrass, country, folk, and more. Let's get into it. We first have to start with the fiddle. It was carried across the Atlantic by individuals who had to bring their music with them. This instrument was small, lightweight, and easy to travel with. In Ireland, it called people together, and in America, it did the same. But the sound shifted. In Appalachia, mountain musicians leaned into it. That smooth, melodic bow stroke became the driving voice of old-time music. From square dances to the birth of bluegrass, and the style changed how the fiddle was actually played. Not far behind came the tin whistle, or what some call the penny whistle, a simple wind instrument that was straightforward and even smaller than the fiddle. It was basic and simple, a small pipe with some finger holes to cover up, along with a small mouthpiece. In Ireland, it was a starter instrument for kids, but in America it slipped into folk circles, and even early country western musicians toyed with its bright high notes. Another wood-wind instrument was the wooden flute, or what some call the Irish flute. Its sound generated a much warmer tone than a standard metal flute. Irish settlers played it in quiet gatherings, and it wove its way into the roots of American folk traditions in towns steeped with Irish communities. The sound is softer than the fiddle, but adds depth and lends itself to smaller gatherings of people. Then we have the Welland pipes, smaller and less brassy than the Scottish pipes, which have a more emotional sound to them, depending upon how they are played. This instrument doesn't require big lung power because it doesn't require the player to constantly blow air while playing. It uses a small pump that attaches to the player's arm, filling the bag with air that serves the pipes. They sound quieter, closer to the human voice, with a steady Celtic drone. I'm quite surprised this instrument hasn't been more popular in America, but has appeared in folk and bluegrass music as well as film soundtracks. Its sound is unforgettable. And who can forget the harp? In Ireland, the harp was considered high art, almost sacred. In the US, its role was smaller, often heard in classical settings and gatherings of Irish clubs and societies. Still, it traveled with them and kept that golden string heritage alive. The bodhrán, which is the Irish frame drum, didn't make waves at first, but by the late 19th century it began thumping into American folk and fusion groups. It was a very portable percussion instrument musicians appreciated because you could take it anywhere. Then there was the accordion and its cousin, the concertina. In certain parts of America, these instruments became popular in Southern cultures. They became a cornerstone in Cajun music, Zydeco, and even country songs. What were Irish instruments that were played in quieter settings? Americans made them loud and boisterous. And finally, the banjo, which was originally developed from instruments out of Africa that ended up in the American South. When the Irish who lived in America picked up this unique instrument, they first used it with their traditional songs, as well as in new styles that would become known as bluegrass and American folk music. Where did this trail of discovery take us? Without Irish immigrants carrying these humble instruments to the States, the soundtrack of America itself would be different. Think of Appalachian fiddle music, bluegrass tunes, or the energetic Zydeco style pumping things up in Louisiana. Their impact eventually became baked into the very DNA of American music. Thanks so much for watching. If you are Irish, your roots are from Ireland, or would like to be among the honorary Irish, you're at the right place. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, click on the notification bell, or even leave me a comment. Until next time, keep that Irish twinkle in your eye.